to be doing 75 Hard YouTube edition. I stumbled upon a creator who had recommended this idea, which I thought is just an amazing idea. Just get on camera, spitball some ideas, spitball what you're thinking, and share it with people. No need to be overly edited or overly perfected. So, something that's been on my mind as I'm starting a new business. I ran a window cleaning business for 4 years, started that in college. But leading up to that, I always knew I wanted to start a business, but I never knew what I was going to do. So, I went to college and I kind of waited around for the perfect business idea to pop into my head. It was always going to be I find the perfect thing and then I go with that forever. Now, as we all know, that's not really the reality. That's not really how it works. Some people stumble into the thing that they want to do forever, and that's amazing. But that's not everyone, right? And especially entrepreneur types where you're kind of wired in a way where you're a creative and you're a thinker. Your brain's running in every direction. So any idea could be a good idea, right? So I actually met a friend in college and he had worked for a window cleaning company and basically was like, hey, you want to start this up? And without hesitation, I decided, let's go for it, right? I had no clue what could come of it. And because I said yes, it gave me the opportunity to learn a lot of things. Now, I was completely naive as to everything that was going to come along with the business, all of the hardships we were going to encounter together. We ran it 2 years as like a summer gig in college, and then we ran it for 2 years out of college. The last 2 years, I was actually able to hire a couple of high school buddies to come work for us. We had 2 trucks out there running almost full time in our busy season. Now, I say that to say, I think we can get so caught up in waiting for the perfect time. It's, I will do this when this, or I will do this once this happens. And we wait for the perfect time, or we wait for everything to fall into line. And, what I've found from experience is it's just never perfect. It's never going to be perfect. There's never going to be a perfect time or a perfect opportunity. If it seems perfect, it probably isn't. And, it's probably too good to be true, right? And I think so often I find myself saying, I'll start this once, my schedule gets a little lighter, or I will do this once, fill in the blank, right? And I think this is where a lot of people get caught up. And one of the things I really loved about the idea of just filming some videos, just being real and raw and kind of documenting the process, I love it because it is the real, it is the raw, there's no better time than now to start, right? So that gets me into, what is this channel? What am I doing next? So I'm starting a digital marketing agency because when I ran the window cleaning business, I really loved the content creation. I really loved the video editing. I really loved all of these aspects. And that's something that I know a lot of business owners really don't have time for. It kind of goes by the wayside. But as we all know, it's super important to be doing, as a business owner, right? So I wanted to start an agency where I can help provide, content ideas and scripts for business owners. They can create the content. We can get all of that done for them and then really get it out to the channels that they want it to go to. This will save them a lot of time. Now, of course, it's a service that they invest in, but I think for the dollar spend for packages like this, to me, it's the best marketing dollars you're ever going to spend because Instagram or Facebook, a lot of times for especially local businesses function kind of as like a website, as your landing page. And then digital creators, you might not even have a website. So your social media is of the utmost importance, right? So jumping into this agency full time, we sold the window cleaning business. We basically sold the client list, came out all right from that, but kind of on to the next thing. I'm going to start working with a coach who has built and scaled an agency, and he's going to give me some of the tricks of the trade and really help me to help people. And I'd be lying if I said it wasn't scary. I'd be lying if I said I didn't have any doubts about it. But that's what I come back to is it's not perfect. And for me, it's like I just need to put my trust in God that he's got this, and I know that he's got a plan for me and a plan for my family. And that kind of brings me to some of the stuff I was working on this morning that I'll just talk about super briefly. I was kind of putting this is kind of my like my manual, or it's going to be my guide for a lot of the business stuff, but just want to document the process of this. I did some during the window cleaning, but man, is it fun to look back and you don't realize how far you came just by laying brick after brick, day after day, and you really will start to see the progress, and it's amazing. So I wrote down like, what am I doing this for? I'm doing this for my wife and for my future kids. I want to be able to provide and support them every day. I want to be able to help others in my life, and I want to be able to give like crazy. I want to be able to give and help friends and provide opportunities and experiences to people who may not be able to have those experiences on their own, right? Um, and yeah, and then from that, like I write down a couple things that I always want to remember, right? Um, and a few of these are me as a Christian, what I believe, and a few of them are just kind of mantras that I like to live by. But one that really stood out to me was fear the Lord always, know that he has a plan for you, but trust his plan. His purpose will stand. That's another one. Embrace change, stand strong in adversity, seek out discomfort, take extreme ownership. That's a Jocko Willink quote, if you know him. And go one more. That's a company, BPN. So I've got the spiritual, I've got some other mantras in there that I kind of want to live by. I'm going to be documenting some of my content plans in here. So I've got, um, a rough outline of the 75 days of this challenge. But really, I'm going to kind of just come on here, spitball, and just try to be real and be raw and not be too scripted, because I think with some of my content, what I find myself doing is I don't sound like myself. I don't sound like I have a personality, because I like to think I have a personality, right? And I want to be able to show that more on camera. And I think it's going to take something like this, getting the reps in, for me to feel a little bit more comfortable behind the camera and not feel like I have to be too scripted. Because I don't know about you, but if a video is far too scripted, I kind of check out, because I know they're just reading something. It's no different than like the person having the AI read it, right? And then another thing that I'm kind of going to do that it always helps me is I'll have to-do lists, and I'm so bad at bumping stuff to the next day, to the next day, to the next day. So I don't know if you can see that. I kind of color coordinated. So I'm going to use green as like stuff that has to be done that day, yellow as things that need to be done soon, but not necessarily that day, orange, got a little bit of time, maybe a week to do it. And then if anything is in red, it is going to be, maybe it was a fun idea, but let's not run with it because it's going to distract us from what we got going on. So I know it was all over the place, but really what I'm going to be doing is I'm locking in on this agency. I'm going to be documenting the growth, some of the behind the scenes stuff as it's scaling, and really just want to show to you that it is possible to start from wherever you are with whatever you have, and that people are ultimately supportive. People online, they want to help you. It's really not until you get to a level of viewership where there's people who start hating. And if they do, man, it's not important. It doesn't matter. And that's what I'm reminding myself as well, because I haven't gotten to that point. But yeah, start today. Just start today. That's what my ultimate takeaway is from some of these thoughts I've had is you're gonna be afraid, and that's good. And another point is, if you're doing, let me say that again. If you are living your life in a way that nobody questions any of your decisions, meaning you're not different from anyone else in your day to day, you're just living the exact same way, you're doing the exact same things. Now, I think that can be okay, but where you're going to feel truly fulfilled is stepping out, taking risks, and kind of shaking things up a little bit. And if you're about that, we're gonna get along well. I'll tag the original creator in this video who kind of gave me this idea to record for the 75 days. And then if you are gonna also start creating videos, recording every day for 75 days, you know, comment what you're gonna do, comment what you are currently doing. But the rules seemed pretty vague, which is good. You know, get on camera, record some content, minor edits, get it posted, on to the next day. So thanks, guys. Peace. Yeah, peace.